Collected miscellany. I'll look at it later. Where'd he go? Yeah. Is he sleeping? Is Ben sleeping? I hear breathing? Snoring?
Silly churl, Billy churl,
Oh.
silly Billy.
I'm not gonna ask why.
Churl.
I was just about to ask why. Ew, Chiori. Hard skip. Oh, and the Chronicled Wish banner. Yay. Oh my god. Hey Big, you can finally get G now if you want to wish. The Chronicled Wish, the other banner. Yeah, yeah, this garbage. Don't what? Spoil you. My guy, it's not even a spoiler. Everyone knows about it already. Yes, you do. I told you about this. Yeah, because it was just a whole bunch of fucking characters. It's like the standard banner, except you actually have a chance to get what you want. My god, there was nothing too. I spoiled the next banners for you for the next update. Why does it matter? And even that could still change. I no. See, thing about it is, even though they plan it, they can change what characters go on it. I don't know. That's just how they do it. What the? They're not gonna hire an 18-year-old. First of all, I have no experience in what they do. They don't even treat their community like they care about it. I don't even know what they want me to do in their. Honestly, I'd pull for Albedo, but I'm saving. Bet he was. Chronicle wishes his own history. Oh dear God. Well, that's a hard skip. Normal attack damage increased by 16. Elemental skill by 24 after nearby active geo. Nearby active geo character. The aforementioned. Additionally, the water defense. What? Chiori can be a sub DPS or a DPS. Yeah, if you have her signature sword, apparently. Because her signature sword increases her normal attack and her elemental skill damage. Now see, here's the other half that gets me. After a nearby active character deals geo damage, the aforementioned effects are increased by 100. Pretty much normal attack would be increased by the percentage shown and the elemental skill damage by the percentage shown. For 15 seconds, and her defense goes up by 20%. Sounds like a skill issue. Also, stream can't hear you just yet. Shall I turn on include party audio? Oh wait, you have kids snoring. You said what? No, it's not too loud. I don't think they'll hear it, but like, I'm trying to. It didn't click what you said. All right then. I might need to look at her demo because actually I'll look at it later. I have to do her story quest and a hangout event. Ew, you didn't. I didn't. Wait, I told you the 4 stars on the banner. I did tell you, right? Yeah, that's just cool.
Get them! Blitz. Try this on yourself. Surrendering and be gentle. Let's sweeten the deal.
Who doesn't love a little hyper balloon carry? Oh, Ben came back. Again. Hey. Ew.
Observe. By royal decree.
We ain't about to go nowhere.
Advance!
Flags up.
The fact they asked.
Strike is one.
Everyone on me!
Midnight, fantastic. Leave it all to me, as a dutiful maid will.
Why do you have to ask? No, I'm saying, why did they have to ask? If it was the same girl.
Charge!
Flags fly. And leap.
I mean, I don't see that as a solid excuse, but alright. Of course he'd come back on Genshin's update day.
Don't waste my time.
Ooh, what was wrong with her?
It's nothing. Submit.
There's no nice way to ghost somebody. No, there isn't. I don't know what you think there is. I don't know what you think is the proper way of doing it, but there is no proper way of doing it.
Steady as stone. Time to clean up.
And how do you do it?
Someone needs.
That's not really ghosting per se. You just cannot be contacting them consistently. That's ghosting, so you weren't even doing that in the first place. I don't think you... Okay, whatever.
Advance!
Get a month of a break, my guy.
Attaboy!
Yeah, I don't think playing ranked is a good idea.
It's nothing.
Press the
For
advantage!
2 days now? Oh my god, I wasn't aware. Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know. Because I saw you on yesterday.
Your life is mine.
Rally!
Everybody stand back.
Who wants some of this? Attaboy!
My Utopia does more than the trials, which is not okay. Alright, Chiori. Let's see what's up with you. So we're just not gonna tell Dory that her character here is Geo. Which one? Oh my god, did they actually build her properly? What did you say? You will never be the best in the group. It's not gonna happen. You can barely get a stop off. Actually, you can't. Why am I saying that? Oh, they stay in the field a while. You can keep them up. It's nice. Attack and defense. Oh boy. Skill damage. Ooh. Twin blades leave their sheath as Chiori slices, dealing AoE. Cerberus is just, okay. I need to, Any mode, dash in direction, such a nearby enemy. There are geo constructs or geo created. An additional. Gain different effects depending on the action. Okay. If you press elemental skill, you would trigger the. If you press normal tailing, it would be triggered instead. Switch the next character in your roster. Grants all your party members sees when your party member. Let me hit nearby. Will execute coordinated attack. Geo fear. So she could be a sub DPS or DPS. It's up to you. Nearby member creates geo construct. Oh yeah, she might as well just be a DPS. Oh, there's an interval. Okay. And I know I can aim it. I'm gonna just get this down.
Don't waste my time.
Notice that.
Delicate as silk. Submit. Give up.
Oop. Hold on, gotta pause. I'll be right back. So sorry about that, people. Shall we continue? Yes, we shall.
You're toast. Nice
You got black for who?
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Oh, finally.
I am the cutting edge of fashion.
The sass. I think Chiori can be a DPS. It just depends. Fair plan, alright. You're gonna lag out though, I warn you now. Alright. Stream, I know you can't hear them, I just didn't allow party audio. Who are you asking? Yeah, cause he mad it ain't his birthday.
Don't waste my time. Going in. Next comes. Eat this. Out of the frying pan. Submit. Give up.
Yep. Oh, come on. I was too close. Oh, that's like...
It's nothing. I am the cutting edge
Seriously?
of fashion.
Oh my god, what? You can. It goes on her. I don't know what you're hoping to have her for.
Delicate as silk.
It's a small douche.
Don't waste my time.
Not really all
Your
that.
life is mine.
No, most people are gonna skip her. I know I am.
Everybody stand back. Ha! I am the cutting edge of fashion.
Yeah, kind of mid. Okay. Banners are just sad, honestly. It's like literally all Geo, I kid you not. Except for Dory. Mid. Mid banners is what I'm saying. I could care less about Ito. I'm more concerned about this. Yeah. It's like the weapon banner and the standard banner had a baby. What? No, this is. The person I was saving up for. Turns out they did. You use your regular wishes that you would on the event banner. I'm not doing 110. First of all, this has its own history. It's not. I I don't even know what I can get off of here. This would suck. Hold on. Confirm selection. It's it's the standard banner and the standard. No, the weapon banner and the standard banner had a baby, and it's in the middle of both of them. Do you know how long it's taken me to save? I have 12,000 primos and 20. Actually, hold on. How much does this add up to? 80 in primos. I have a lot. I would rather keep it. And this is gonna go away after the first half is gone. So when these banners are gone, this is gone. I'm not happy that they did this. Of course I'm happy. Of course I was happy when you were gone for that month. But you came back, so oh well. He's a sub DPS. I just wanted him. Places a skill on the ground which will do damage over time and coordinate attacks. Their burst is just one huge hit and then a bunch of little hits. I would show you, but he doesn't have a character demo for me to, you know. Also, I need to claim these. I went back in on accident. Oh well. That's fine because they did that. Ito is just my Ito is better. You've already seen him. Why do I have to show you? Why do I have to show you this?
Give up. Let's light it up.
You can if you don't want a Geo user. He was an accident twice. I would happily give him to someone else if it was possible.
Your life is mine.
I'm just saying.
Don't waste my time.
Press the advantage.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
It's showtime.
My Ito was an accident both times. I regret everything. There you go, you happy you saw that? Not that I don't like him, it's just that what's the point of having him? The banners are all Geo except for that one 4-star. She's just there. Everyone is just Geo. Yeah, and Nuvolud. In 20 days. The worst part is Jing Chou was supposed to be on this banner, but I guess they changed it to Dory. Fun. Because we asked for that for some reason. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do 3 single pulls. You know why? Because Genshin did this to us. The 3 wishes for being with them for 3 years. I'll be claiming this. And this. And I'll be taking that too.
Wanna come over for...
I don't... Well, first of all, I'm just saving it. I don't need their pettiness. 3 pulls. Since they want to treat the Genshin community like garbage. 1 pull for each year we've been with you? Yeah, right. How about the amount of money we've spent on you? Yeah, 3 pulls gets us nothing. You proud of yourself, Mihoyo? This is what you did to the community? Everything I got in my mailbox. It's a... They always give you 600 at the start of an update. I hate it. I'm moving to Wuthering Waves when it comes out. Shit sucks. Actually, who's on it this time? No one, I'm surprised. There's a training guide, I forgot about that. There's a training guide for people who don't know what the fuck to do in this game, like some people. Well, Shai's not gonna do his quest. We tell him to do that, but he doesn't listen, so there's no point in him using it. He doesn't listen to us, he's not gonna listen to it. I don't know why it's telling me. First of all, I have 12 Floor of the Abyss, and I'm 36 started, so I don't need the training guide. This is for y'all, not for me. I don't need the training guide if I've done literally everything in the entire game. And I'm not even using some of these characters. Bennett is just perfect. It's all check marks. Lenny's perfect. Eula's perfect. I don't use her. I don't care about her. To be fair, he's perfect. He still works on any team I use. I don't use her anymore. She's fine. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. He's perfect. Just beautiful. I don't need to upgrade the burst. They're just trying to make you crown them, and I'm not trying to do that. You can use Thundering Pulse on this man? That's a thing? What? Why would anyone use... No. Hell no, what the f... He's a CC character. You lost your mind. All my characters are reliable. I don't need a training guide. If you hungry, go eat something. They even have a training guide for Aloy? What the f- What are you talking about? Meaning? Okay, why? Why? Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. Oh my god.
There was a glorious
Once
kingdom
there was a
established
glorious
among the
kingdom
heavens.
established among
From
the
that
stars.
kingdom came a crowned heir, tasked with seeking out the
Where the hell
Genesis
did you get that
pearl.
money from? Good man. Good man. Had. Keyword had. Since when do you play Lord Rex? Bro, one of the banana ones. Because they actually do a good job at creating crossovers to the game. I pre-fund for Arlecchino, so I'm ready for her when she comes. Next update. I'm just all types of ready. Okay. Why would you want to do that? Then don't say it. Something wrong with you. Checks and cats. Oh god. Well, I guess I'm doing a hangout event with Lynette.
Meow. Oh, it's you. 1 second. Now activating chat mode. You made me jump there. I thought they'd finally caught me. Objectively speaking, the trouble was entirely of my own making. Half an hour ago, I was at
I
Hotel
hate
de
hangout
Boer for a
events.
drinks
I hope they
reception.
never do this.
It was to celebrate the
Again.
successful opening of a show. But it
I hate
was
that
straight my
the
energy.
Genshin made hangout events.
Probably because I'm playing the lead. Is that so surprising? I'm always getting.
I thought
We
you
took
was
all the
saying.
kids from the House of the Hearth out to see a film, and after it finished, they all started clamoring for me to try out acting for some reason. Even Lenny was chanting. Anyway,
I'm gonna skip through this because this is not important. No one cares
I'm
about
playing
these.
the role of a puppet. In fact, the show's called The Art is not comprehended by the mind, but felt in the heart.
What battle
At the drinks
post?
reception, everyone was, but being the center of attention is draining.
Oh
So,
boy.
the other thing is, some weird
Hold
thing.
on. 1 second, chat. Moving to the soccer area. I can't believe Roller Champions got rid of their seasonal pass.
No, we just met. We bumped in. Well, it'd be kind of difficult for us to
It's
communicate
gone. Where do you think it
otherwise.
went?
Besides, I think she's... Yeah, that's right. Good kitty. We'll go find your owner soon. Nope. She's wearing a collar, and for the most part, she's pretty well groomed.
What do you say?
If she is a stray, she hasn't been for long. Her stomach's been...
They got rid of that a long time ago.
I guess she must have been missing for a few days now. As much as I'd love to hang out with her for a while longer, her owners probably won't.
Hold on, let me look. Cause that sound dumb. Cause I only ever bought one battle pass, and that was it. The skins for PlayStation Plus ain't even all that.
Well,
Anyway, sorry,
I just
stream.
find it exhausting. Thinking through all the different
Sorry again,
ramifications of different
stream.
choices and so on. That's more Lenny's area than mine. So, unless it's something really important,
What image you sent?
I usually just leave the decision making to him.
I got that battle. You already know I got that. Why did they bring it back? You're off by 1. You're off by 10. You're off by 10 platinum for getting it. And it's funnier because I have that pass already. Ooh, Farslayer of Vengeance. Now that one sounds lit. That's... Hey.
It's fine.
It's not my fault.
A
It was
fatality.
better than the other thing that was there
It
before.
looks pretty over the top. The way it works is, well, for example, I just have to believe in the.
To be fair, it wasn't. It was the game's fault for making it. They hadn't made it. I wouldn't have bought it. Would have just saved my platinum for another pass.
I didn't like that.
When I actually cared about the game, you know. But now I like Wayfinder.
Clearly, there's some design flaws to I. Let's see.
I know I'm
Which
just
card
talking to
did I
myself
get?
here for them.
4. Well, the cards fell on the ground though, so I don't think it counts. If you want to get the right answer, you have to let fit. So, to put it another way, if picking a card up off the ground is how to not leave it, or
you played on your own
why
downfall.
don't you pick a card? Since I ran into you here, that means our fates are like. Thank you. This here, take the fatometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate successfully changed. Also, if you have your own thoughts about.
Let's leave this one to fate. Oh my god, a mini game. Press to draw a card and get a random number between 1 and 20 of the. Just check difficulty. Check difficulty. You will pass this check, otherwise fail it. The random checks. The random checks triggered by the photometer. I can't read that. I can read it. Your current check bonus is what? I'll just get into it and figure it out. Middle card, always the best card. 16.
So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner? There's 20 cards in total, numbered 1 to 20. So there's only a 1 in 5 chance of drawing less than a 5. I should also mention, this time the cutoff was 5, but I just set that to wherever I feel like. To put it in perspective, I said I'd only do the show if I drew a 1. Fate can be pretty.
So the show or find the owner. Oh, fun. Yeah, I got a fatometer. Easy. Fatometer. Hold on, wait a second. D. 16 again. Another 6. Okay, this game is hates me. Cannot deploy here. I don't want to deploy it. Let me fix the quick swap because I don't need this. Oh, it doesn't count. That's lame. All right.
Take it easy.
Finally, a different number, even though it's literally the same thing. Can I just call this back? Cannot be destroyed.
Every stupendous day starts with a steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with?
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on.
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do.
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you.
Why don't you be the owner?
Also, I just wanted to say thanks. Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. Alright.
Next morning, 7 at night. Ooh. Dad. Chain blades. Sounds boring. Where's Wayfinder? Wayfinder's so much better. You should totally grind that. What number is that? Oh, is that a 9? I don't know why they did it like that. I hate that. What? What about it? I don't think you can even get rid of... What's the point? I can't even walk away from it.
Take it easy.
I can't even undeploy it. Did they forget to... Oh my god. What if I place this? Is there a way to get rid of this? Wait, can't you just walk away from the teapot? I forget. We're gonna find out, cause it should go away eventually. What's happening here?
I believe this cat belongs to me.
Oh, Lord.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Just take a breather, you two. Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
No. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society.
Okay, well, he's clearly lying. Find some hidden information.
Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime.
Animal, let's see if I... 8 and above. Well, middle card's always a good draw. Yup. Always middle card. Once Tia begins to weave.
Well, this complicates things.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me. She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case.
Well, you check now.
If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her, that is. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society?
Bless you.
Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things.
All it takes is one gust of
You're the
wind.
one in the...
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat?
If you steal
If it
this
turns
cat.
out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat
It belongs to my friend.
Go on, Bonnie.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends.
Oh.
Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
Oh, yes, exactly.
She lying.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strange. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here... Bonnie was her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird. So, I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But... it looks like I overestimated him.
I don't think I'd come back either.
The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead.
Okay, things are getting interesting. Maybe I won't skip through all of this.
A new kind of illegal drug. Imitation synth. We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight.
I didn't see what drug they
Even
called
without
it.
substances
Imitation
on the market,
slime?
people are still looking for a way to get their next fix. And criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth.
Oh my god, it's like imitation crab meat, but it's an actual drug.
The market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in.
Okay, I don't care about the additional
We only
information. Let's
recently
just
got
find
word
the
of the
cat's owner.
presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to... The
Y'all wanna do
Marechaussee
the hangout
Phantom
question? Y'all
launched
do
user
it
researcher at the
yourselves.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson.
A ruler, a clock, potentially one of those old clocks, and a plastic stand with the number 2 on it, like it's a crime scene.
At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much to go. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lefebvre family. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre.
That's
No
not
one
possible,
called
actually.
you.
Exactly.
Where
Many
you
years
been,
ago,
though?
the family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings
Oh
to
yeah,
take their
week
revenge.
4
And with
is
the family
in a
severely
couple hours.
weakened, Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been
Brawler.
hiding away in the Fontaine
The week
Research
4 challenges.
Institute all these years.
More, I'm gonna be
My
streaming
fellow
that.
guards, there could be a chance that Pierre or one of his accomplices might attempt to get close to Bonnie.
It's
Now that
not
we've
worth
briefed
it.
on the situation, I was hoping
Sorry,
you'd
Chad.
help
I
us
hope
keep
that
a
wasn't
lookout.
too loud.
If I take Bonnie back
You
to the
can,
guards with
my
me,
guy, you can like,
there's
you
no way
don't
Pierre will
even
try and
need
come for
to.
her. Not even the most daring of criminals would have done
See,
something like that.
You don't. I know you didn't need to
I have
do
to
that. All
admit,
you had to do was just do like
I'm not holding out too much
6
hope that
weekly
Pierre will come back
challenges, and
for
you're
her.
already done
But
with the
if there's
battle
even the
pass.
slightest chance, well, I've got some.
Like, it only takes half of the weeklies. Also, welcome in. How are you? You don't look so good.
It's nothing. I'm fine. It's just...
I know. How do I
Out of the
know? 'Cause I've been
Lefebvre
doing it
family.
for as long as they came out with battle
He was
passes, and I
the
bought in every
eminent
single one.
person who kidnapped me. It
Except
was
for
at
the
a
last
dinner
one. I
party.
skipped that last one. I hated
Someone
the
tricked me
Termidex
into
season.
boarding the
That was
Lefebvre
just so
family
horrible.
carriage.
When Mordex had a tier
Whoever
85
it
skin.
was, they took me back to their home.
That's the only one I
Before
skipped. It
anything
just looks
worse
so
could happen,
bad.
Father intervened. Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated. After all these years, I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again.
I don't care about the weapons. Those were fine. It's just the skin itself. I wouldn't wear that. I prefer Fenrir
Don't
Mordex.
worry about
I'm happy to
He's been
keep
acting
that skin.
strange recently. He avoids me for days on
And plus, I
end,
already have a better combination
consumes
for my
himself
Mordex.
with
I don't
some
need that
secret
garbage.
investigation. And then, out of the blue,
Same thing for my
pushes me to do
Diana.
that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one. It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though.
That's fine.
Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever.
Yes, Ben, we heard your
You'll have to help
girlfriend.
me
We
teach
just
him
didn't
a lesson
acknowledge
if
it because we
run into
didn't
him
care.
along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine
I
Research
know it doesn't
Institute
include
to
me.
learn more
I don't
information about Pierre.
put myself on. I don't put
Or
myself in
the
that group.
both,
I'm on my own.
perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense
No,
that
it's more of
something's not
independency.
right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's.
Welcome, stream. How are you?
Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything.
Sup? Oh, Nightbot's finally working the way it's supposed to. Great. Whoops. Just doing my quest. Doing my hangout events and Chiori's quest. What are you two doing?
Lynette, you're
Overload
not
question
at
mark?
rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
And that's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Shovras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
Nice to see you. I should clarify something. Mr. Linney's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us
Reason
crack
why
a
what?
case involving a perpetrator who used magic tricks to commit crimes. I was hoping he'd be able to provide some
No,
valuable
you didn't. You
insight
told me.
this time
I said I
around as
wouldn't
well.
ask, and you said don't.
So you've
But you're gonna just didn't
heard
tell me
everything
anyway.
then?
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding
I've
the
been,
fall
but
of
then
the
I forgot
Lefebvre
about it until you
family.
brought it back up.
Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved. Whoever was behind it all was extremely
Well, you can tell me
cautious.
stream isn't gonna hear it.
They
I
didn't
don't
leave a
have
shred
party
of
chat audio
evidence.
enabled, so they can only
This
hear
very
me.
fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that Harbinger. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two. Don't worry, I
You-
don't have any evidence to that effect.
Actually, I'm not gonna
and
make it
I certainly
obvious
don't
because
plan on
stream
going to
does
bat
this
for
and
such a
that.
despicable family. Plus,
Hold on.
you were victims back then more than anything. I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more.
My mom came in my room. Sorry.
The way
What
I
were you
look
saying?
at it, it's a collaboration between us as
Oh,
people,
right.
not the organizations we represent.
I'm gonna try to say this in a way that's
Besides,
not
by
super
working
obvious.
Together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible.
You
You can
did
hardly
a.
say that's at odds
You
with the
actually
justice my
performed a
organization
good
strives
deed as a
for.
Samaritan. Well, whose idea was it?
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the
And
very beginning,
how
Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Oh, more mouths to feed.
Linny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That
Yeah, it's
little
gonna be
girl
fun.
who
You
did
have
nothing
roommates
but
now.
cower in the corner in fear. She doesn't need saving anymore.
Does that? How young are they? Is either one of them double digits? Oh, well then no swearing for you then. No swearing for you.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
Oh,
They're
and
still
the next time you want to
impressionable.
distract me, you should try a different approach.
Then kick. Then you go up to kick them out.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated.
And put him on the
I'll
couch.
explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is...
Oh God, what team is this?
It appears the lovely Bear
Ugh.
family was very particular
Everyone's
in their
sleeping.
use of insignias and emblems. The family would use
Why
different
aren't you
emblems to
asleep?
mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the
I hope I can
pendant
finish
was
this
used to
hangout
represent
quest
an illegitimate child.
before it's week 3 Brawlhalla Battle Pass. We're week 4.
It's highly likely. That very...
We discovered something interesting.
Apparently, Pierre was once
I'm
addicted
gonna
to
be up all
synth.
night.
He tried to
I
use the
took a
resources
nap.
at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect.
I was supposed to join
He
the party
claimed
when
it
you
was just for
texted me,
research
but I
purposes,
ended up
but
falling
the
back to
Institute
sleep.
revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was
Ben, you
placed
haven't been on the game in a
disciplinary leave,
month. I don't want to
pending
hear
a
it from
thorough
you.
But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way.
Yeah, you were doing
Could have been a
that
lack
because
of
your cord was
personnel or a
taken, so you
timing
couldn't
issue.
play the game.
In any case, they had to. As for his family background,
Something you
it
did.
appears
Shame.
other than the pendant, we didn't. Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze,
He did have
appears the
control over it.
substance
Whether it was
leaves
his fault or
behind strong
not, he
traces
had
wherever it's
responsibility,
produced or
and that got him
stored.
in trouble.
Those
So that's his
traces
fault
might
at the
not
end
be
of the day.
obvious to the we didn't find any records indicating
No,
possible
your
involvement in
half of the
overseas
room was clean.
transactions
The
either.
other half was still your
So,
responsibility.
The Marashose
Because you're the
Phantom didn't view
older
him as a major
brother in the
suspect at
situation.
first.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, his neighbors did if his reclusive nature.
After he disappeared.
Poisson.
Well,
You
either
know
way,
who
you got
told
in
the
trouble
boy
for
when I
it, so your
first found
responsibility.
Bonnie? To get there from
I don't
Poisson,
tell you.
you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
A cat? You mean...
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marashose Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is
I'm gonna
that
need to
Bonnie
rearrange
couldn't
my
have
bed when I finish.
Wait, you think
My
the
bed ain't
cat
looking
can
too
lead us
hot
there?
right now.
But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
I can give it a go. Nope.
Meow. Meow meow. Meow.
Cringe. I seem to understand.
Near the coast, the beach, and beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the Court of Fontaine.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone. But humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact. Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
The important thing is that we
She
now
would
have a
know.
lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
Check the suspicious location. Their waypoint? Yup. Actually, I'm gonna have this on autoplay so y'all can listen to it.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to
I'm gonna take
us
care of my
somewhere.
bed. I'll click it whenever it needs me to. Or not. No, wait.
Gardamex ahead.
Look out!
Oh, great, we got some combat. Why are guard mechs all the way out here? Oh, there's more of you, you weirdo.
Gotcha. It's over.
Funny enough, I have 0 elemental mastery on Hu Tao.
Silly child.
So that
silly
vape
child.
reaction. I don't get much of a reaction. Okay.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd
All
say
right.
yes,
I'll
I'd
take
recruit
care
you
of
into
that.
the Special
Get it
Patrol
back
here
in.
and now. No questions asked.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Why? The one time I decide I want to take care of something is when it doesn't give me the option to. Okay.
Aha!
I'm gonna
Just
do
as we
little by
thought.
little while this is
This is where
happening
the
then.
imitation synth was being. Looks like he's got more. These cleaning agents, the special patrol. It must have taken a. But what are these other?
Never mind, I just realized what this moment is. It's not gonna work.
The material it's the very... Even the strings look... I came across some bags made of the same... Very similar... But what could these big bags...
Who? What? Where? Oh.
When the Marechaussee Phantom only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been some.
So can I...
Based on the various ingredients we found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get...
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick...
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water. If you put a barrel in the water, it will...
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
You think he used floating barrels? I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away, then why not a barrel?
Alright, that's been done, but I still have laundry to take care of. Actually, I think it just stopped. Alright, I'll be back again. Is anyone still alive? No? Okay, good. Mm-mm. Can't believe she did this. That's new.
The wreckage of a small boat? This isn't the place.
No.
This isn't the place.
What? What do you want me to look for? I don't understand. There's something else I'm slightly missing. Ah, right here.
Got it. Time to go up and report.
I'm gonna set my timer for 40 minutes because that's when the drive will be done. There we go.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this. With this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like Pierre would row a small boat out to the agreed-upon transfer point, drop off the barrels, leave, and then row back and retrieve them after the transfer was complete.
It could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face. As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean there has to be at least one other person involved in the operation, likely in charge of transporting the goods across the border.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind. Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border. You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections. Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumideus Harbor and see what you can find out?
All right. Come on, Bonnie. You too.
to the harbor.
Oh, Lynette, Traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
Oh. I see. Thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine. I'm in charge of guarding the port. You mentioned you were after some travelogues, right? I can go fetch those for you.
Looks
So
like
we're
I've
just
got
here in
another hard day
uniform.
of work ahead of me. No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff. But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal the goods so well.
By suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth?
Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly. If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travelogues for all the recent activity at the port.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me. Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
Huh? We were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Why don't you have a look at the travelogues first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities ride to and from work.
The Humane Society. Their name is all over the exit logs. The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Ah, the director of the organization explained that actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier. Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant. And there were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water.
Hold up. Man. Okay.
Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals. Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss. She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those... what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them. That step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So, it was better left to the more experienced Pierre. We've already proven how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth, so I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process. The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Ah, you're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
After him! We can't let him get away! Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy, have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
Look, I didn't have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all. While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
Mm-mm.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you? The reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Yes, officer. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods, too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else. Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them. I wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the Society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House. I hope you know what'll be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you...
Bonnie helped, too.
That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed. And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads. Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Nope.
Ow, that hurt. Ow!
20. Check fail.
Is everything really over? I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. No good.
Jesus, woman.
I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly out of energy.
Nearly out of... Good.
Alright, I'll stop. Let's go to the Humane Society before my energy for today completely runs out.
Whoa, we left her on one heart. That's a shame. Can we try that again? I should have talked to her first. I regret not doing so. Oh, well, it don't matter. It still counts. Okay, here we go. Now let's not mess this up.
It was that obvious. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a... Is there still anything...
15, let's go. Ooh, not worth it.
Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods.
Nothing.
Is there something else in this
Nope.
scheme that we're missing?
Never mind, forget I asked. Anything else needed to be explained? What'd you expect? Maybe get a comfortable bed. Clearly not if you don't sleep that way. And, can't you use my D-pad? Nope. Connections.
There's no need to rush. Let's see if we can find... Bernard claims to have...
Oh.
If Bonnie had imitation synth in her... And thinking about it, could it be that the person who... The Marechaussee Phantom found...
Why is he a suspect? Whoopsie. Ah! Well... Initial suspicions.
Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow, when he took so much care to not leave
To
any
throw us
traces
off.
of imitation...
Something ain't right. Nah.
Now behave and follow me.
That hurt.
Turn check. Alright, this time. Initial clue suspicions. 5+. Middle card's always right. 15. 25. Check success.
Is there something else you need from me, Traveler?
Huh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
Hey,
What did he say?
what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre.
Bernard thought he was communicating with Pierre. Pierre thought he was communicating. But for all this time, neither of them knew.
That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his home with Bonnie and the pendant, and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom?
Should have been lasting. Why would he leave it alone?
Both of these things are in stark contrast to his
you
usual
talking to me?
meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation.
I
He
was
was
reading
following
something.
orders, just like Bernard. He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our
I'm gonna
undercover
take care of
agent
something
will
real
be
fast.
sure to help you. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice...
What? You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
Wait. But that doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught, he'll explain his side of the story and the third person will...
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again. Once they had instructed Pierre to expose himself, the third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base. Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to lead the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess the truth.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
Is that what happened? I'll get back to head.
Chevra said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, has
Right
been
now?
feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our
Okay,
first
let me
meeting.
finish up this
They
thing.
suggested
Let me
that
finish
Pierre's
up this
disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a
I
scion
hadn't
of the
had
Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate...
Huh?
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too far? You're right. I did let a lot of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the case. I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan. Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net. And you couldn't predict what they might possibly find, if given enough time. This, of course, was the main weakness of your plan. As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought about pulling a few more strings, so all of the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society. Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the imitation synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine. It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of imitation synth. Still, you soon found another opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of imitation synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling imitation synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society. Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of imitation synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect. You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumidu's Harbor.
That looked good, huh?
You even highlighted the Society's activities during your
Yeah,
compilation
no.
of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible
Couldn't even
to
afford it
anyone
either.
examining the records. Moreover, the logs contained no records of the
I
Port
don't know why you'd
Authority's
want it.
activities. In other words,
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for imitation synth from the harbor to a boat, and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels. And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials, and surreptitiously operated between them.
Nope.
Pierre manufactured imitation synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the barrels. Having received the green light from you as Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had received enough for a full batch. This is the truth behind your smuggling ring.
Fake coffin.
I can't believe it. I never put two and two together.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels, huh?
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence. You know very well that this case will not end until Pierre is found, so you will have him commit suicide out of fear and shame to end the investigation for good.
Oh,
That
we're
way,
getting a
you
bit
can also
graphic.
pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials, and even the Lefebvre name on him. After all, dead men tell no tales. But you still want it to appear as if he had sent that last letter to Bernard, so you have to make sure he cannot be found until after Bernard has confessed to the authorities. To do that, you either will hide his body until you've found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll be hard to determine the exact time of death. Submerged in water, for instance. The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time while also letting you keep an eye on it. There are only so many options to hide a person's time of death, after all. As long as the Phantom investigates each of the possibilities in turn, they'll surely find Pierre's remains. Especially since, as the prime suspect who will now be taken into custody, you will no longer have the time to move him, or set up a fake suicide scene to cover up the murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds will you order my arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument. After all, I'm...
Elodie Lefebvre! As the captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, I hereby declare you as a suspect in the case. If you have any objections, you may raise them later during interrogation.
That's right. We received a message from Lumidu's Harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
While at the
Thank
harbor,
God you did.
we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of excuses to swap your shifts. And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships, they'd find them to be an exact match.
That's just a coincidence.
Yes, I'm sure you have already thought of a dozen different ways to explain away the suspicious activities, but as far as evidence goes, that should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
Although judging by her reaction, I assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
The Lefebvres were infamous for using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals. Who would have thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline, they likely arranged for you to enter the guards before the fall of the clan. But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefebvres during their fall, thus clearing yourself of suspicion. You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness, just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live. You've been doing this for years.
So you played me like a fool after all? Ugh!
What was that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally? They were worthless scum. All of them. Not just Bernard and Pierre, but those Lefebvres too. They always just saw me as a tool. I lost all my chances of a normal life just because I was born into their lot. Not only that, but because they wanted me to become an undercover agent. They stripped me of my name. I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive. And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefebvre?
I don't, and neither do I care.
Me neither.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save it for the interrogation room.
What a joke. What a joke! Hey!
I gotta screenshot this. Yep, that's going in the archive.
Don't come any closer!
What's that?
It seems broken is what it seems like.
Know what this is? I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane Society. Just one step closer and... whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees, they'll all be blown up into smithereens. Surely, you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
Deception. 15. This better be a good card. Middle card always. Never fails me. I got it just by one.
I can understand how you feel. Like you, we are also victims of the Lefebvre clan. But if you were to endanger innocence now for your own gain, the public anger towards the Lefebvres would only rise to a boiling point, and the families of the new victims would be dead set on exacting revenge on you.
And what of it?
I'll be your hostage, Elodie.
What?
Thanks for your concern, Traveler. But we need to end all of the hate and violence arising from this clan once and for all. I'll raise my hands and come over slowly. I promise that I'm completely unarmed.
I'm watching you. Don't think for a second you can pull a fast one on me.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Just keep your eyes on me. Don't look away.
Ah!
Good.
Phew. So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself. This is it. Looks like it's just a toy.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society in person to plant.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning and find someone better to take over the Humane Society. I might need a few statements from everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
If statements are all you need, can Lenny provide them on my behalf? I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew. I also had an appointment with the Traveler before we got interrupted.
Always, always, always. Contemplation. What did she say again? You mean when you said you could stop by your place?
Ah, so you do remember. Yes, I invited you to come over to our place. Once I'm done talking with the troop, I'll make a nice cup of tea and bring Bonnie to wait for you outside of my door.
That is insane. Oh my god, what happened here?
You must have spent a record-breaking amount of time in serious mode today. I can't remember the last time I've seen you like this. Is it because of a special someone? Based on it, I'd assume that the first offering Elodie saw the opportunity. She started writing to him in Bernard's name, using. Unfortunately for her, she ran into Lynette. Even though my sister doesn't like. Still, all of that.
Thank you, Lenny. I don't even want to talk to you. So you're adopting the cat. How's that gonna go? Good on you, mate.
Black tea and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode.
For you, maybe.
Want some?
A cute kitty or a cup of tea? Cats aren't my thing. I think I'll take some tea.
I see she's already starting to snuggle up to you. Not at all. Information is indeed very important, but if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease. Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
Kitty.
Great answer. That'd be my pick too. Had we not run
You
into
would
that
have said the
case,
same thing no matter what
we
I
could have
picked.
spent the entire day like this. But now I'm running low on both time and energy. You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment. Something about her rubbed me the wrong way since the very beginning. But to be more precise, it was probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her. Elodie tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or perhaps Bonnie just instinctively knew that she wasn't a good person. Not everyone who likes cats is a good... Humans tend to overthink things, but cats rely on their instincts, and they're pretty sharp. I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met.
Your story has come to an end for now. Alright, I finished with the Hangout event. I'm ending stream. This was a very boring one. I was not happy to do this one.
Toodaloo.
Bye bye, it's been almost 2 hours. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.